Hey, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. So excited to be with you and always excited to share the news with you. Folks, there's breaking news all over the place. And of course, Trump and Putin are having their summit. I want to talk briefly about that as well. Zuckerberg, of course, has landed himself in trouble, not only with people on the right, but with people on the left. He doesn't know which end is up. We're going to talk with Mike Lindell today on the show because there's big developments there. Not only that, with Keith Ellison again in Minnesota going after Mike Lindell for the umpteenth time. Absolutely disgusting behavior by him. And then I'm going to start this, though, with, I think, the greatest video on the internet right now. It is absolutely phenomenal because if you didn't know, Donald Trump broke up Gavin Newsom's big presser the other day, and Mayor Karen Bass absolutely flipped her lid. Check this out.
It was a coincidence. This was widely publicized that the governor and many of our other elected officials were having a press conference here to talk about redistricting, and they decided they were going to come and thumb their nose in front of the governor's face. Why would you do that? That is unbelievably disrespectful. It's a provocative act. They're talking about disorder in Los Angeles, and they are the source of the disorder in Los Angeles right now. This is just completely unacceptable. This is a administration, this is a Customs and Border Patrol that has gone amok. This absolutely has to stop. There was no danger here. There was no need to detain anyone here. And there was certainly no need to have a provocative act right here where the governor is having a press conference.
This is next level. Okay. Mike, I don't know if you saw that, but it was absolutely incredible because, Gavin Newsom's going to hold this big redistricting press conference, and we're going to take 5 seats out of California. They've already redistricted the snot out of it. They've got 40% Republican out there, even if you look at their numbers, and yet only 20% representation in the United States House of Representatives. And now they're going to redistrict more, and they're upset about Texas redistricting when that actually falls more in line with the actual population of Texas. And he's freaking out. He's going to hold this big presser, and Trump starts arresting illegals right there. Nobody control like Donald Trump.
With that mayor there, I would like to go back in and remember a few months ago when he was there with the fires and stuff, and he told her, he says, well, why don't you let people go on their property right now? Like it was like, it's their property, and she goes, well, we'll see, like a month. He goes, well, why not right now? Like a week, that's too, he does a month, it's too slow, a week. And she goes, yeah, okay. I wonder, we should follow up on that one of these days and see if the people are sitting out there. I would bet they're still sitting there going through red tape to be able to go on their properties. I would bet everything I had because that's the truth. That lady is bizarre.
Yeah, no, I know actually, Mike, that they are sitting on it. In fact, they have now proposed some new type of housing complex, and I got to go back. I'd have to look up the story, but yeah, I saw that a little bit ago. I didn't cover it, but it was, it's not surprising. Folks, do me a favor, smash that like, chat in with where you're from. Love to see who's on the stream today. I saw a bunch of you. Katerina, thanks for modding again today, and Michelle as well. But this, I think, is a great news story. But Mike, you've got a lot of things happening. Again, I'm just gonna, like, my audience knows you're a whirlwind, man. Things are happening around you all the time. You're constantly getting attacked. You're getting attacked by Ellison in Minnesota. But Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, and I'm going to show you something. This is kind of interesting. Two headline pieces about Mark. So it's hard for him to know which end is up. I think it's because he has no moral compass. But here he is, Zuckerberg and Starbuck. Do you know Robbie Starbuck? He's the one who exposes all these woke corporations. He's awesome. Well, they're teaming, and apparently they're teaming up. I don't know what this means, but it's great news for the future of bigoted white straight men. I mean, because, if you're going to be white and straight, you're automatically bigoted by these people. But this is a crazy piece. So apparently he's doing some things with Robbie. I think it has to do with Robbie's exposing constantly the transgender surgeries that companies are sponsoring, all the DEI crap, and he's done more to root that out than anybody in this country, I think. But now look at this. the New York Times goes full Karen on Mark Zuckerberg. So now they're upset with him. So it doesn't matter. He can't do anything right because there was Zuckerbucks where he injected 450 million into the election. And now, of course, he's got the left upset with him as well. What's going on with Zuckerberg and you? And then, Mike, do you have any specials for MyPillow?
Yeah, absolutely. This is and this all goes all the attacks on MyPillow. You guys go to mypillow.com/lumberjack. You guys get free shipping on your entire order.
That's bad.
It's also an employee pricing sale. We have the classics on there, like the body pillow you get for $29.98. That's what our employees pay, everybody. This is, you guys get the slippers on there. Once they're gone, they're gone. Okay. And the sandals, I think they're 19 something a piece. The summer sandals and slides. Get all this stuff. Get it before they're gone. Another one, we have our sheets. They're bath sheets. They're the oversized bath towels. They're going fast, as our beach towels that are 50% off. You guys, and then the Rev 7. You guys, the Rev 7. Remember, we had 2 weeks. We were out. Everybody wants it. It just came in 2 days ago. Get it now. You'll have it in a couple days. That ships right out right now, you guys. And I'm going to add to this sale. This is when sales collide, everybody. You can use that promo code Lumberjack on mystore.com. And on mystore.com, you can use it there. And also, for the first time in history, you're going to get free shipping on your entire order there.
No.
So we're blowing this open. Thousands of entrepreneurs we need to help. These are the ones that didn't get lost on Amazon or Mark Zuckerberg puts the strings on them and condenses them. So you guys take advantage of these sales. MyPillow.com/lumberjack. Call 800-368-2865. There it is. Yeah. Or
1-800-568-2865.
Yeah, 568 800-568-2865. But there's all there. There you get. And the My Coffee, you guys, the My Coffee is back in stock. These things, you guys have just been amazing out there. But instead of bringing it in and slowing the sales and raising the price, we're giving it to you all on sale with free shipping. The coffee's 50% off, and you can get that over at mystore.com. So we have all these sales going on, but there's one thing that's in common when all sales collide, and that's promo code Lumberjack. Woo!
That's right. Well, I mean, Mike, I am. You always do, and then you sweeten the pot when you come on. But you always have great deals going on. But you always give us the best deals, and I thank you for that. My audience thanks you for that. And now free shipping again. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, free shipping. And you guys, this is really important too, that they, you guys have helped us get through, but we're not through. They attack every day, and now they turned it up more than ever. We just talked about Mark Zuckerberg. I'm telling you, remember he tootled on down to Mar-a-Lago after Donald Trump won and gave him a bunch of money and says, and when I was talking to the president, said, do you think Mark changed his way? I go, of course he did. We all know he didn't. This is what he's doing. He's going, I could hurt my platform. I have stockholders. I got to act like I'm playing both sides. This is a big lie, everybody, and I'm here to tell you what's been going on. Mark Zuckerberg, this is just, everybody knows back in the day, the Facebook fact checkers, this was Alan Duke, and it's called Lead Stories. And Alan Duke, I got to give a little history here. In the summer of 2020, Alan Duke, now they're the Facebook fact checkers, and they recently got fired, but we're going to tell you that in a minute. Alan Duke was putting stuff up in the summer of 2020 with the China virus. Anybody that said they had something that worked, false information. Well, what I had was called Seradivir, and a guy named David Harris Jr., some of you might know him, he had a following of over 2 million people on Facebook. That was his livelihood, everybody. That was his livelihood. And Ben Carson was on, he had some of my stuff that I got the Seradivir that I had to cure the virus. And he used it, and he was interviewed on David Harris Jr.'s site. He says something about it. And Alan Duke, Lead Stories, put false information over it. Well, I go, who the heck are these Lead Story guys? So I got a hold of the Facebook fact checker, Alan Duke himself, And Ben Carson, I put them both on the phone together, and Ben said, it is true. So Alan Duke took the cover off the report and said, we made a mistake. We were wrong. And you know what Facebook did? They took 1.5 million followers from David Harris. In effect, they cut his business in 3/4 and wiped him off the face of the earth. And he was innocent and guilty of nothing. Now, let's fast forward, everybody, to November and December of 2020. I don't care who you were out there. If you have any conscience whatsoever and seen something, all these things going up on YouTube, on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, and they would cover it up. Hey, here's some evidence. You just said 2020 election or Donald Trump. Cover it up. False information, false information. Then, everybody, when I came out with absolute proof on February 5th of 2021, Alan Duke, they covered that up right away. It said contains false information. It even said contain nudity and porn. Alan denied it. Alan denies that one. He goes, Mike, that wasn't me. I go, you're the only Facebook fact checker. He goes, Facebook did that. They changed the cover, okay? So Facebook, that would be on Mark's end. Remember, Alan Duke, the fact checkers are they're a third party hired by Facebook. So now I'm gonna give you some more. When Absolute Interference came out, my next movie, Alan Duke covered it up in 5 minutes. It's a 2-hour movie, everybody, and I went ballistic. I had a 5-hour rant on Lindell TV because that's what I started it back then. And Alan Duke and we fought every time for I called him the biggest traitor to the country. I called him, you name it. I called him. I said, how could you do this to your country? But he's so brainwashed, right? And now I'm going to fast forward a little bit. We gave him when the Tina Peters image, which was right up on Facebook, this is actually inside the machines, everybody. We signed an NDA. Our lawyers did with Alan Duke. We gave him the image and said, here, check this out. I said, Alan, you could go from a traitor to a hero in a blink of an eye. Just report that this is true. His cyber guys looked at it. He came back and said, yep, Mike, you were right. I said, well, tell it to the world. The Facebook fact checker says it's true. He wouldn't do it. He said, Mike, we're fact checkers. We don't have to put out everything that's true. He was afraid to do it. Now, let me tell you about Alan Duke.
We don't have to fact check ourselves, is what he was saying.
Right.
We're fact checkers. We don't fact check ourselves.
Yeah. So Alan Duke, we actually became, like I say, we got to know each other pretty well. And when I went to the DC convention, everybody, and shaved off my mustache to get in there, who's there? All of a sudden, there's Alan Duke. I go, Alan, how you doing? We walk in together, everybody. A guy named Harry Hassoun. He's a left-wing nut job, Harry Sisson or something like that. Sisson. Harry Sisson and 2 other hit jobs are waiting for me, and they attacked me, and they attacked Alan that he was with me. And Alan goes, wait a minute, I'm Alan Duke. I'm the Facebook fact checker. And old Harry and the boys are going, oh, we're sorry, Alan. We're sorry, Alan. He's like a legend to them, right? That he attacks, it covers up stuff. Now, Alan says, he goes, after it calmed down, he goes, why would they attack me just for being with you? And I go, Alan, this is what they are. They're hit job people. They don't look at that. What have I done other than say, hey, we need to secure our election and get rid of the machines? I haven't even badmouthed Democrats I had never even badmouthed Biden, and no one can say anything I ever did. I knew it was the Uniparty, the deep state globalist CCP, and nobody can ever say that you're against a Democrat. You're against, no, we're all people. What I'm against is the people, the evil trying to take over all of us. Now, here's what happened. So Alan Duke, that was the DC convention last summer. I hadn't heard from Alan since then. And anyway, so this last 2 weeks, everybody, 3 weeks, we have over at Lindell TV. We have a new social media gal, Jessica. She's one of the most amazing people. She can dig into algorithms and knows everything, knows what to put up on all the platforms. We've grown. We got Getter, Gab, Truth Social, Telegram, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And she goes into this and she comes back. This was unbeknownst to me. She goes, she's meeting with our other executives like Emma Robinson and stuff at Lindell TV. And she says, you all personally are being restricted On Facebook, you're all, I see, because she couldn't understand other platforms. The news is going out there. Remember, everybody, we have a White House correspondent and a Capitol correspondent, and we just got in the press pool and got 2 questions yesterday. So now you take this track. All of a sudden, they're telling them we're getting our individual accounts and Lindell TV. You know, you can see how it's growing on the other platforms. Yeah. Lindell TV on Facebook isn't moving. Now, here's what happened. So as we over here, as things are growing and being reported, we're getting over here, and Lindell TV is getting all the news coming out about the White House. This is happening. Well, about a week ago, I get a call from Patrick Kobeck. He goes, "We got a big problem. Zuckerberg, when he posted on Lindell TV, he covered up the whole network. He said our whole network, Lindell TV, is false information. You can't make this up, Neil. He covered up our network." Now, did he cover it? And by the way, everybody, that includes Vocal, which is my social media site connected to Lindell TV, which is a direct competition to Facebook. I mean, it's got all the election stuff, everything there, vocal.com. So he covers this up. Then we check a little deeper. Now I find out that all my people were meeting with Facebook going, "Hey, why are you suppressing us? Why are you doing this?" This was yesterday or 2 days ago. And I go, "Wait a minute. The big thing here, they covered up the whole network and said we're all false information." And you don't know what kind of defamation that is. I mean, that's bizarre. So then here's what happened. Then all of a sudden, within a half hour, I get another message from my Cause of America, which runs my Lindell Offense Fund, my Lindell Defense Fund, and my Lindell Recovery Network. And guess what, everybody? They're wiped off Facebook altogether. So in other words, so what do? I call up old Alan Duke. I go, "Alan, what are you up to, your old tricks again?" You know, I'm going, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Mike, Zuckerberg fired me." Of course, he didn't say Zuckerberg. He said, Meta, whatever it's called.
Mark,
he says,
whatever.
Yeah, he says, he says, "We got fired. All the fact checkers got fired at Facebook because they're using artificial intelligence," is what he thinks. So he said, so they fire, and he said, "Mike," I said, "Have you ever seen like this where they cover up a network?" He said, "That's a lawsuit like beyond belief." He said, "You are doing this. Somebody had to punch in the data for the artificial intelligence. Someone had to give it orders, Neil. Yeah. Anything with Mike Lindell's name on it or even remotely related to Lindell. I hope your audience isn't big on Facebook, because you know what? They might just cover up old Neil. You better be careful.
I don't do Facebook, Mike. I mean, as bad as like YouTube and some of the others were, I just found Facebook to be the worst of all of them during that time.
That's all going to change, everybody, because I am not going to take it this time when all the information, you all know a week ago when Tulsi Gabbard came out and said there's problems with the machines. Sisson knew about it. All these things that are coming out that she's going to, the world needs to know about them. And when we can't at Lindell TV, we can't put out the word. Remember, my Lindell TV and myself, we're the hub of the wheel of this election. We have to get to paper ballots and counted. This isn't maybe we will, maybe we won't. And she put out all this stuff. If we don't have our voice this time around, it's over.
Oh yeah. This is the thing, Mike. And I gotta say something here. People, pay attention to me. Seriously. Look here. Look me in the eyes. All of you running around. I see the comments. "Oh no, it doesn't matter what we do." You're acting like battered wives, and you're going, "Oh no, they'll never prosecute anyone. Nothing will ever happen. What does it matter what I do or say?" If your voice didn't mean something, they would not work so hard to silence you. That's right. I am telling you, the reason free speech is the First Amendment, the reason it's so vital is because if you don't have a meritocracy where the best ideas can rise to the top and people can have open, honest debate and present their facts, this republic is gone. That's okay. Right. And so now all of these organizations like X and Facebook and YouTube, government agencies have accounts on these platforms. And this is now how people, so don't tell me about NPR and weather alerts and how everybody in a rural America is going to die. No. Do you know how they would die? Is if they got censored off these big platforms.
That's exactly right. And you know what, Neil, and let me tell everybody, I'm going after Facebook. Okay, we're not sitting around. We're on the offense. You guys want to be a part of it? Go to lindellplan.com and you donate till you can't donate anymore. Because I'll tell you what, we're going after old Mark Zuckerberg. And you know what? The one thing they've even tried just this week. There's another. When you want to kill a business, or you want to kill a voice, just like you say, these big platforms, they actually did this to Lindell TV back in the spring of 2021. Everybody, this was when it was frank speech, and this happened across all the platforms, including DuckDuck and Bing and Yahoo. Oh, that's DuckDuck. That's real safe over there. Okay, sure it is. All they did over there was they made a fake site on Google. Okay, so there was a fake site, the frank speech. So when you Google it, and they buried me, they just buried me over there. Over at DuckDuck and them, you know what they did, Neil? I was not on the search engine. Imagine putting in Lindell TV or putting in Neil Johnson or putting in Lumberjack, and you're gone. Nobody can find you because one press of a button, they take you off the search engine. You know what happens to your business before you even could react? If they took MyPillow off the search engine, as big as MyPillow is, we'd be gone in an instant. In one day, sales would go bam, boom, gone. Yeah. And that's the power they have. The other ones that have the big power, which I went head to head with about 5 years ago, get this, everybody, I went all the way to the top on the 4 biggest cards: American Express, MasterCard, Visa, and Discover. This is back when they pulled in and they'd find they had like breaches, like the Target breach. And you know what they would do? Anytime they had breaches, they would go out and everyone's cards that were used everywhere, they'd go to those companies and say, you all got to pay into this swimming pool. Why at MyPillow, this was the 3rd time I said, I refuse to do it. That fraud did not come from MyPillow. The last time I had you 4 on the phone, we put force fields around there that nobody could penetrate, and you said you'd never bother me again. Well, I ended up winning that one without, because you can't, if you go to court with them, you know what happens? You get to go to court with them. It's a mediation, but you know who decides? They do. So you go to them. You bring it to them, because everything in writing, when you have those cards, can you imagine if you're a merchant out there and they all of a sudden the big cards say, let's just say it's one, says, you can't take our card anymore. You're done.
Do you know, Mike, this is why, and what you're bringing up is a very, very important thing that people are not thinking about. And that's this whole central bank digital currency. Credit cards were the start of that. Anytime you can remove, this is why I have become so big on cash. When I'm out and about, and restaurants are now charging, like 5% to use a card anyways. I don't want to pay an extra 5%. Can you imagine 5% if you could make 5% a month every month on your money? Right. I mean, you'd be making 60%, but be compounded by the time the end of the year rolls around. I mean, it'd be big money. So I love paying in cash.
Yeah, anyway. Well, there's another thing there, Neil, that goes deeper than that. Anybody, back in the 70s, I watched a movie, they have Mark of the Beast in the Bible where money becomes obsolete, right? Yes. It's in Revelation. Well, money becomes obsolete. I was working at a grocery store. We started having scanners and all this stuff. I'm going, okay, what is the beast? Well, as you see these things that I would preach about when back in the 90s to my friends, we'd all be out, having a good time, and I'd be on this, hey, they're going to eliminate money someday, and it's just going to be you can only use cards or whatever. And you guys, look where we're at. You can go to, there's games you can go to in Minnesota. I think it's one of the ball fields there, and you go there and you can't they won't take cash. Did you know that? They won't take cash. You have to use a card. So Neil, just make sure if you come to Minneapolis, I don't know which one it is, but you get there and you better bring everybody. Better have some kind of credit card on you, because where you can't use cash, it's disgusting.
And cash is legal tender. So how can they refuse cash? I think we need a lawsuit about that.
No, it really should be. And then I'll tell you, there were a lot of other bills in Minnesota where I went in to pay cash. Of course, this was during the China virus, and they wouldn't take cash because of the China virus. Oh, really? I'm sorry, there's a little spot of China virus on this $100 bill. Boy, I'll bet you take it. I'll bet you'll take it as a tip, though, won't you?
Yeah.
I've said it a long time ago that the only thing that prevented getting rid of cash, that they were going to get rid of cash sooner, was basically crime. And I mean, like drug dealing and everything, because everything's done with cash in that world. And they probably had enough power, at least, to keep it at that time. But nowadays you got other forms of currency like your Bitcoin and stuff,
Yes.
where they're using that. So it's a scary times we're in. And I've said it before, everybody, if we don't, this is why our elections are the most important thing in history right now. And because I said it 4 years ago, and we're coming to a time of artificial intelligence and technology beyond our wildest dreams, and master computers that control everything, just one. And who do you want? That's why our elections are so important. Do you want people regulating that are selected or elected? And this is so important, everybody. And look at how fast AI got here and all this garbage got here. It could be used for amazing things, but I'll tell you what, it can be used for the most evil thing. You could frame me. You could have me talking to you and bad mouthing and doing whatever, and you wouldn't even know it's me talking.
Yeah.
Who's regulating this stuff? I see it all the time on Zuckerberg's Facebook. You got things coming out of people's mouth. I got people using God's name in vain that would never do that in a million years.
Or they showed Joe Rogan selling their product, and Joe Rogan's not selling their product.
Yeah, they're doing it, and a lot of that, you see a lot of Chinese ads, Timmy and all these people. And I know Ben Carson, a good friend of mine, he was on this ads for some sex thing, pill to take or whatever. I called him up. I said, "Are you promoting?" He goes, "Mike, I've been trying to stop them. You can't stop them." You know how you stop them? You go to Mark Zuckerberg and say, "Hey, take your ads on Facebook, and we're going to start fining you for doing business with these people if something's reported." He's the one that's the problem here. Do you know, at one time in 2014, I believe it was, Mark Zuckerberg, everybody had built up their followers on Facebook, and I did it. MyPillow, we built up a big business. He changed the algorithms and the thing, and the filters, shrunk our audience down by a fifth, and then we couldn't advertise because he was going to limit the amount of ads. But yet this vodka ad, all of a sudden, they must have paid Zuckerberg a lot of money, because that's all you were seeing for weeks was this vodka ad.
Well, or
disgusting.
it might be that they're just more aligned with him, because a lot of what was going on there at Facebook was ideologically driven, and some of it, Mike, I will. This isn't offering a defense for Facebook, but I read the emails in the Missouri v. Biden lawsuit, and people from the Biden administration, guy's name was Terry Flattery, was sending emails to Facebook, Instagram, cussing them out for not giving Biden enough exposure and threatening the full force and weight of the federal government against them if they didn't get that corrected.
Right.
It's just, so the whole thing was so disgusting. But I noticed a comment from somebody, Mike, do you have coffee beans in stock? Because Carrie says she'll get some.
Yes, all the coffee came back in, you guys. All the coffee's here. Get over there and get it now. We had a gap. I mean, we can't. The Rat and Rev 7, the production. It wasn't on our end. It was their production, but we just got a huge batch in. So get at her.
Well, hey, Mike, I'm gonna share something here. I'm gonna share this first. I want to talk quickly about this. So this is, you've been talking about Keith Ellison. This is old. This is from March 19th, but this was Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell trade accusations over investigation. The legal activity swirling around MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell now includes an investigation into his charities by the Minnesota Attorney General's office. Documents filed in Ramsey County District Court last week show Attorney General Keith Ellison has been investigating 3 nonprofit corporations that list Lindell as president since last summer over potential violations of state charity law. Now, this is interesting, and I want to point out something really fascinating on this. Now, Keith Ellison doesn't seem to have an interest in the real fraud that's happening in the Walz administration, which were now over $600 million. Yet he is investigating not 1, not 2, but 3 companies in which Mike Lindell is involved in, all charities. Do you think there's any possibility, my lovely audience, comment in the chat here, do you think there's any possibility that this is purely coincidence and that he just happened to find some dirt on these companies? Or is he investigating the person and not the crime? What do you think Keith Ellison's up to? Because he's after you again now, Mike, right?
Yeah, he's after me again. And let me right now it's tied up. We have over 150 hours of lawyers tied up in this so far, of what they keep pouring on us, and just to tie me up and my lawyers up with them going through just this discovery stuff that's insane. Now they're on 2018, everybody. They list off every single thing from the bank account that went out of there. But here's the caveat to that. I am the only one that put in money that year or any other year, I believe, up until last year. Because I find until I ran out of money, I just wanted to help addicts. The Lindell Recovery Network, I just wanted to help addicts. I built that company. The Lindell Foundation, I built.
Hold on, Mike. Wait. So you're telling me, because last year I gave money, so I know I gave some money last year.
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah.
But before, this thing was totally funded by you. Wait,
100%.
So he's investigating you.
He's investigating
for giving money to your own charity.
Right.
And all the money gets spent on the website and the stories of recovering drug addicts.
That's exactly right. So in other words, everybody, actually what they found in the first round, there was $145,000 deduction that I didn't take. I don't do my account. The charity had its own board. It had its own accountants and all that. So that's all done. They missed one of my deductions I could have took because I donated all the money. I donated all the money. And when I went, here's another thing. They came back and said, well, why would you do that? Why would you want to? Because I wanted to help people, and I didn't need people's money. I didn't even have a donate button on there for the longest time. I didn't need help. I didn't build a charity I wanted to help. I wanted to do proof, get it out there and help addicts and help people, them come to Jesus. And the other thing, my foundation, I was building the most amazing platform in history. I got tired of charities where you give $1 and maybe a dime gets to the actual cause, right? Yeah. So what I did is I set up this amazing charity. It was almost like a bunch of give, send, goes. Here's the story behind it. You could dial it down to let's say your city. I did a lot in Detroit. So you could dial it down, let's say to Detroit, or you want to give to Michigan or the United States, whatever the cause was, right? Here's the need. And as everybody's putting in their money, 100% of the money would go directly to the need. I was going to personally cover all the overhead, which I did, right down to the merchant fees, everything.
What is there to investigate?
There's nothing to investigate. It's the shit job of all time. Once they couldn't find anything in these other years, they came back with, we thought it was over. Now they come back, but this was yesterday. Now you got 20 days to give us 2018. 20 days, everybody. You get 20 days. Go try and find stuff from 2018. I'm sorry. Gee, you paid someone $200 and some. Her name is Johnny, or his name is Johnny Bananas. Well, I don't know what he gave him that for. Who cares? I'm the one that gave the money to the charity.
Yeah.
Maybe Johnny had needed money. This was to help addicts. Maybe Johnny needed money to get new pants or whatever that week. I don't know. And now I got to go back in time. Two of the people on my board that I had for that died. They're long gone. I mean, the people that kept track of this are gone. That had the books are gone. This is bizarre.
And Keith Ellison is such a piece of work, Mike. Yeah. I want to show you a meme in honor of you getting coffee back on. Check this out. A new study links drinking more coffee to a longer lifespan. Awesome. I'm going to be immortal.
Yeah, it is the best coffee in history, everybody. There's nothing better than my coffee. And it was really, we ran out of that. And then they had a Rev 7. It was just a misjudgment because everybody, they told friends, they told 2 friends, they told 100 friends, and great shows like yourself, everybody wanted it. Once you get it, you're never trying a different coffee. I'll tell you that.
Mike, I started doing those Rev 7s before because I started teaching group cycle or spin classes again.
Yeah.
And I am telling you, I had, let me see, it would have been this Monday. I had my heart rate over 200 beats per minute. My recovery in 1 minute was 70 beats per minute. I was back down. So I was over 200. I was back down into the 130s in 1 minute.
Wow.
I mean, and I'm telling you, I've just been jamming with that Rev 7. I love this stuff. So go get some. MyPillow.com.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys ordered today. Not only get free shipping on your order, but with the order, anything you order, you're going to get a 3-pack of the Rev 7 to try. And it is the best. No sugar, no caffeine, no jitters. Your clarity is amazing. And I'll tell you, and by the way, everybody, when we ran out a little bit there, it affected me too. I didn't even have enough. I go, and we actually, it was just, it wasn't on our end. It was a miss for the manufacturer. The projections we gave them were on. We going, hey, this could go here. You better have it ready. And but we got it all in. All is good. We use dual drivers, get it up here, and we're shipping in real time, everybody. So get your Rev 7. That's going out in real time. You should have it 2-3 days.
All right. Check this out. A couple quick comments here. Super chats. My cat only sleeps on the bed with the MyPillow topper.
Blame the cat. Of course the cat. Let me tell you, everybody, there's 2 kinds of sleep, REM and delta sleep, or your sleep cycles, where your MyPillow gives you that great, where your brain recalibrates the REM cycles, and you set your pillow. But when I invented or improved, I just went with the mattress topper. I asked so many questions. And then same way with the mattress, what goes into that? What can help you? Why would this help you? Why would this help you? It's all about temperature and pressure points. And I'll tell you what, that's your delta sleep cycles. So, explain why wouldn't a cat love it? Because it's in its body there, and it's just the most amazing thing ever.
Well, and cats, they're kind of the royalty of the animal world, as it were. And Rainmaker, thanks so much for that $20 super chat. I'm celebrating.
And by the way, we do have pet beds, everybody, for cats and dogs, made with the same patented MyPillow fill, and also we have pet blankets. I mean, I didn't even know they made them, and we make them. There's these pet blankets. You got dog blankets, cat blankets.
Well, then you don't get all that hair on your seat.
Yeah, that's
true. I use that.
That's
I put the pet blanket in the car because
great idea.
Sneaking up on the seat. Right. Doesn't stay down on the floor.
Oh, I was thinking they were more for to put over the pet, but you use them put over the seat. I like that.
That's right. Then they lay on the thing, and then that's where the hair goes, and then you can just take that out, and then you don't have it all in the car.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh man, Mike, I tell you what, man, because I love my hunting dogs. I mean, I've usually got a Springer Spaniel around here, and they're just the best. And so many of us, we just absolutely love our dogs. I got to show you another clip, Mike, because we covered the Lindell TV versus Mark Zuckerberg. We've talked about
coming soon, you guys. I give you a promise. We're going after him. We're not going to let. God bless me with a platform of a big voice, which is all of your voices out there. We're not going to let them take away our First Amendment right of speech, free speech, and lose our country. I'm not going to let it happen.
Yeah, well, we can't. I mean, it's the hill to die on. Yeah. Because otherwise, you don't have a country. I mean, you just don't.
That's right. But
I'm going to share a clip, and I want to get your thoughts on this. It turns out that, of course, Trump is meeting with Putin today, and Brennan. The illustrious John Brennan had something to say about it on MSNBC, because now that he's not a CIA guy, of course, he's hired by MSNBC because that's where CIA guys go to die.
Under President Obama, now MSNBC senior intelligence analyst. Okay, Russian propaganda TV is Russian propaganda TV, but to me, it's interesting because it's like, what is the point of this meeting, really? What do you think is the best outcome and the worst outcome of this meeting?
Well, the best outcome is if no damage occurs as a result of this meeting. I think that's the best outcome. The worst outcome is that Donald Trump is going to continue to concede to Vladimir Putin concessions as far as the Ukraine conflict is concerned. I mean, let's face it, Vladimir Putin is an international pariah. He's been indicted by the Criminal Court of Justice for war crimes. And here he's been given a real benefit of coming to the United States, to Alaska, to meet with the President of the United States. And the President of the United States has also, sent signals that he's willing to make concessions on behalf of Ukraine, talking about the need to trade territory. And
okay, I just want to stop right there. Okay, so this is Brennan. He's under investigation right? He's under criminal investigation.
He's a bad guy. By the way, everybody, he ties back to the evidence, the first evidence I had, which was with Dennis Montgomery with the CIA. Go ahead.
Now, what's interesting here is he just talked about President Putin is coming to Alaska to meet with President Trump, and somehow this is a big reward for Vladimir Putin, and this is Trump just throwing everything away and giving Putin everything. Mike, let me ask you a question. You've been in business a long time. You've done high-level business negotiations. I've done high-level business negotiations back when I worked at this company down in the cities and everything. And when I wanted the most power in the negotiation process, let me ask you, do you go to their office or do they come to yours?
They come to mine.
Well, exactly. Thank you. Okay. So see, where I'm going with this is Putin has to come to the USA.
That's right.
With Donald Trump on his home turf. Right. And they're trying to tell us that Donald Trump is giving up the negotiation by having him here. There was never a time where we go, oh, we're doing this high-level negotiation. We'd rather go to their place than have them come to us.
That's right. That's right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. And I will also say this, I've been in many negotiations, and from being on the street, that's also a negotiation when someone's got a gun to your head, everybody. Like if you read my book, or a sword to your throat, there's a little bit of negotiation. But I'm telling you, my friend, our president, is the best negotiator I've ever seen, bar none, ever in history. I mean, I've witnessed it. I've sat in a room. The one thing people don't realize about him is he's amazing where he takes in information. And he's an amazing listener, which people don't understand. Yes. It's amazing. He'll listen, take it in. He'll come out with this. So I can tell you, I'll bet you he's already had who knows how many pre-conversations with Putin. Then this is going to be a pre-meeting between the big meeting, and you know what I mean? Because you can't sit there. He's doing it so smart. Sometimes you can't sit there with all three in the everybody in the room. Yeah. You got it. I do that. I'll tell you, when I negotiate, when you call it a beach armor peacemaker, whatever, I've had to do that more than anything, more than even negotiating. I'm probably not good at negotiating like deals with products and stuff, because I always tend to give people the, I short myself usually. But when it comes to, you have two sides, I'm very good at that. I used to, I had a bar for 13 years, and stuff. And, anytime you get in fights or there's any kind of, like I just had one last week between this other company, and I had to call both places, and then you talk to them, and then you immediately come together. This is his wheelhouse. I really believe, 100%. I believe within a week it's going to be over. It's going to be over very fast. I would, if I was still betting, which I'm not anymore, I quit that a long time ago. All my money would be on that they come together. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have them agreeing to come to Alaska. You'd have to come to the White House, or we would have to go there if he didn't want. You're exactly right. If Putin didn't want some kind of peace, he would have said, "Hey, you come and talk to me."
Yeah. No, the fact that John Brennan said that was, one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Yeah. And I not only heard it from Brennan, but I heard it from a bunch of people. And I thought, man, this has to be addressed, because there is no way that that's the preferred place for Putin. So
right. No, absolutely not.
No, I guess, Mike, we're coming up on the end of the show. I guess just real quickly, we've got some new people on, all these people coming and going as we go through this. So can you just, share with the folks a little bit more about the deals going on at MyPillow? You've done free shipping again for my audience.
Yeah, you guys, we really, if you really want to help me right now and help my company, we've been attacked now. Worse this last week. There's other things I can't even say on the show here that's happened that we believe was a full-blown attack. But you guys have always helped us, and we're helping you. Go to mypillow.com/lumberjack. We have an employee pricing sale going on. For example, the MyPillows, you can get the body pillows $29.98. These are employee prices. The My Slippers $39.98. Employee prices. Once they're gone on the slippers, they're gone. Once the sandals are gone and the slides are gone. We've got the coffee back, 50% off. We've got the big beds. Look at the beds, the mattress toppers, the mattress, 100% made in the USA. free shipping on your entire order. The Rev 7's back in. You get it in 3 days, everybody. Get this stuff. You get it very fast. We ship immediately. You got the you should get it 3 days. I mean, I guess we can't control the shippers, but we're shipping in real time right now because it's back in stock. You've got the kitchen sale. You guys know as low as $9.99. People forget we have kitchen towels, bath towels, and kitchen towels. We have oven mitts. We have aprons. Look at that. I mean, who would have thought MyPillow has all this stuff? You guys got to jump and then get it out. The lawn chairs. I mean, the beach towels. They come in all kinds of things. You see the wraps for the kids there. These beach towels are selling out fast. Once they're gone, they're gone. But you got them for the lounge chairs they put on there. All these different things. Bathrobes, bath sheets that are oversized towels. I love them. I think they're $17 something them on sale for, but you guys, free shipping on your entire order, and we're also going to add mystore.com to that, so you can also go to mystore.com, free shipping on your entire order there. We've never done that before. Make sure you use the promo code lumberjack, so you can take advantage of everything over there. There's over 1,000 USA products over there, you guys. Over 1,000. And if you keep, I put a few MyPillow ones up there. There's the honey, the freedom flags, the posters sit behind me. You got their Jim Hansel painting. That's my legally blind painter. His paintings. It's the most amazing paintings there. But you go down, you've got, and by the way, when you go in the menu, it's broke down into categories because we have thousands of products now. You see them up there. We've got every category. It's like a mini Amazon, but what's the difference between us and Amazon? It's all 100% made in the USA. Promo code lumberjack.
So this guy sent me a pack of these. You get 10 of these Seal Genie washers. I just put these in my hoses, Mike. So he obviously knows that, and so he wanted, he sent them to me obviously so I could try them out. I put these in. This is silicone. It's not that crappy. You know when you're doing hose washers,
right?
They dry out and they get nasty.
Yeah.
It only takes like a year or two, and they're just crap. And then the hoses are leaking. These are silicone. They last like I'm sure they're going to last years and years. I don't even want to say how long they're going to last, but they're awesome. And they've got if you look at them here too, they've got this. On the side, it's almost like a spring. They've got like a spring to them, so you just you get them down, and they're great. They do not leak at all. So
that's awesome, you guys, and you can shop here and just keep on shopping. All these are on sale with promo code lumberjack, and they're the most interesting products, innovative, but 100% made in the USA, not 2%, not 99%, 100% made in the USA. Amazing entrepreneurs and their products. And this is 3 years, everybody, maybe longer now. It might be 4 years where we have a team of people. All they do is vet product after product to make sure that they're made in the USA, to make sure that they're, that everything's, that we're not, some China company, or they're not a corrupt company. Or we also check out the owners, the company. We do a lot of great things, vetting these great entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you what, entrepreneurs nowadays, with your products end up getting copied. If you're not protected on a platform like my store, you copy it on Amazon, and the next thing you know, there they are in Walmart, and they have seen on TV section, and it's disgusting. But there it is, everybody. MyPillow.com/lumberjack. You guys, that all my favorite products are right on this page. I use them all. And remember, everybody, when I look at a product, it all comes through me. Where I look at a product, I say, how can we improve on it? Or how does it help you? And even the beach towels we have, this is from, and they're 50% off. Once they're gone for the year anyway. And they're not just made out of beach towels. These are made out of the best cotton, Pure cotton. It's amazing cotton. And some cotton, everybody, works for one product but doesn't work for the other product. I'll give an example. Our short staple cotton here in the Midwest in the United States works best on one of our towels, the one brand of towel we have going on. And then the other, you could take our Giza Dream Sheets. You need long staple cotton, because there's no weavers or spinners left here in the United States. So they have to be made between the Nile River, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Sahara Desert. That's where it's grown. Because why? Because it's perfect conditions for one crop. And what is that crop? Cotton. The staples go longer, stronger. The claims I can make with the Giza Dream Sheets that you get 10-year warranty. I sleep on them every single night. It's our president's favorite product in the world. There's nothing better than the Giza Dream Sheets, you guys. And they had to be certified. They had to be 100% certified that it was made over there. Remember, they used to compromise Egyptian cotton and blend it with other stuff. We got certified the first year. I don't know if you know this, Neil. I didn't want to take any chances. It was called Giza 88. I bought the whole crop. This back when I had money, everybody. I bought the whole crop. I bought the whole crop. Somebody came in from the U.S. and bought the whole crop. Well, we did because and I thought it'd be like a 3 or 4 year supply of these sheets and with this cotton, and it was less than a year. Everybody goes, "Wow, what a difference!" This
Literally,
is the one
the
product
best
I
sheet.
have. This is the one product I have that'll make you want to stay in bed in the morning and not go to work because you're just going to go, "Wow, this is just too comfortable." You know, it's not the pillow. The pillow, remember, you can sleep even shorter than you would because sleep isn't about how much time you spend in bed. It's about how much of it is quality time, quality sleep.
Let me ask. I'm going to ask my audience this. I know a number of members of my audience have the Giza Dream Sheets, but I don't want to ask if you've got them. How many people do not have Giza sheets? So I'm curious in my audience. Just say don't have. Just write that in there. Yeah, Lisa, it's like I won't sleep on anything else but Giza sheets. I mean, Lisa, she's got all your stuff, Mike. I mean,
right on. I'm just trying to read
loves
it.
it. But I'm curious who doesn't have Giza sheets. So Dan does not. Okay, Dan, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you. Without, I never even knew sheets were a thing, Dan. No. I'm not, and don't have. Pappy, you need to get these things.
There's nothing of all my products, you guys. You want to add comfort to your life. The time you spend in bed, it just enhances everything there. You just want to get it. When I'm on the road, if I could take them with me and change at the hotels, that's the one thing I miss. Of course, I bring my pillow with me and stuff. By the way, you can take our little travel pillows, put them right on top of the horrible hotel pillows that go flat, and you're bringing your pillow from home. But the sheets are different. These sheets, by the way, you have a 10-year warranty, but one of the things is when I helped design, there was sheet after sheet sent back. You started with the best cotton in the world, sent back sheet after sheet, and I went through them, and I'm going, okay, what else could I add to it? Well, you could add a satin sheen. I said, what will that do? Put it on there. Let's try it. So I did this, but it's kind of an interesting story. When I first got into sheets, everybody, I was in Minnesota, and I thought, well, how do we start out? Let's see if price makes a difference. I went out and bought the most expensive sheets I could find in Wayzata, Minnesota. I spent $1,200 on a set of queen sheets. I got them home and I tried them. I'm going, this ain't no big deal. I mean, are you kidding me? What makes this better? No, seriously, they were okay, but it didn't go, wow, like a sheet's a sheet. I knew bad sheets then. Everyone slept on bad sheets that feel like a rough cardboard thing or whatever, or they're hot or whatever. But these were nothing special. And I thought, well, so then I dug into it more and I said, well, what's in them? Well, there was the best ones were cotton. And then I had to find out where the best cotton was in the world. And it was between the Nile River, Mediterranean Sea, and the Sahara Desert. I sent guys over there. This was almost a 9-month process of getting them and finding the right cotton and sending it back and forth. And I'll tell you, it hasn't changed since the day that I said, this is it. It stayed the same, everybody. Now, they are expensive to make. Yeah, they're expensive to make. But I keep the price as low as we possibly can. It's for 10-year warranty, most sheets, what do you got, a year, and they change?
I don't know, Mike. This is not expensive. I'm telling you, I got these sheets. First off, I did not know sheets were a thing. So let's say I went out and spent $40 on a king set of sheets, right?
Right.
And they're not that great. These things, I mean, I've had mine for years.
How much is your body worth in your piece? This brings you to me, this takes away my stress at night, the dream sheets. It really does.
Oh, they're just like you get in them and yeah, it's just
you get this coolness to you that it's not, and you guys, it's kind of like, I want to say, not, they feel expensive. I mean, they feel like a silk, not like a silk shirt, like I don't know how to say it, not like a thin, flimsy sheet. They've got some substance, but it's the perfect amount. And, and people, oh, there's the robe. There's the robe, everybody. The robes. Remember when I did bathrobes? Those I was so particular of too. Even my down comforters. You know where they're made? The best place in the world. They're actually made in Poland because we don't have the stuff here to make them. So I go to that country because they make the best down comforters in the world, and I helped design that. So this is where
I've got the down comforter. The down comforter is awesome. I've got the down comforter. I love it. I love it.
So, but you guys, everything we do at MyPillow, like I say, I don't just throw stuff out there. Oh, let's just throw this out there. When I invented MyPillow, and everyone said, this guy came up to me at the Minnesota State Fair. I had my 3 jars of my I wasn't patented yet. And he said, "Are you the guy that invented this pillow?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you have a patent on it?" I said, "No." He goes, "Well, we tested your insides to this, and it's going to last 10 years." He said, "The big companies are never going to let this on the market. You better get a patent, or they're going to go get a patent on it and bury it." He says, "You hear about the cars that got 200 miles a gallon? You never heard about him again, did you?" And it rung in my ears. And what he was saying, he goes, "Do you know the average person has, in a 10-year period, they buy 40 pillows. The average American," he said at that time, had 6 pillows per person per household that didn't work. So in other words, I could have made MyPillow just to last, a year or so, and then people throw them in the closets or whatever. But no, I wanted to make mine. You could wash and dry it and last 10 years. The guy looked at me and goes, that's not good. That's not good. What would you call it? Economics for making money. I'm going, you know what? I feel if I make the best product, put a 10-year warranty on it, and it works, and I don't even charge for the warranty like other people are doing now. I got a cooler the other day for $20. They go, "Would you like the $5 warranty?" I go, "What's it gonna do? To quit cooling pop?" I mean, give me a break, people. This was crazy. So I was all upset. And I'm going, I want a 10-year warranty. And I said, I'm going to count on people telling other people how great MyPillow is. And that's what's happened. We've sold 85 million now, MyPillows, everybody, because they work.
No, I love the pillows. Well, so Mike, September's coming, elk hunting's coming, and I know in my thing, I every day in my pack, I'm going to the Boundary Waters this week with my kids. In my pack, all my kids will have them. We've all carry the travel pillows. I mean, that's one of my favorite products. Somebody said I need sheets or I need towels more than pillows. I saw that comment. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The best towels too. I'm not going to think, Neil, you're just like fibbing because you're just selling this stuff. Yes, fine, I'm selling this stuff, but I don't care. It is absolutely like I hoard my towels some way.
Right.
I take them to the gym with me. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and the towels are another story, everybody. When I grew up, towels actually dried you, and I'm going, why don't towels work anymore? And this is about 4 or 5 years ago. I said, what happened with towels? So we started investigating it, and sure enough, we found out in 2006, our government made a deal with China, Pakistan, India, and all these countries where they could just import towels with no tariffs or no regulation. So all the box stores, it became very competitive with the U.S. towels, and everybody started adding additives, fabric softeners, lotions, stuff. So the towels would all feel very oily, and then you get them home and they didn't work. You got them home and they did not work, and so we so that we found out that, and we actually dug into it there. And by the way, there's the bath. What is it on the left there? I can't read it. The
towels, bath sheets.
Yeah, these are the bath towels. Click on that one, the bath sheets. You guys, these right here, once they're gone, they're gone. We've got these in. These are the oversized Shapir, the high premium cotton, the oversized bath towels, you guys. But these are absolutely awesome. We don't have, I don't know how many of them we have left, but they're going very fast. And then right next to that was the bath mats. If you pull back out of the square, there's the bath mats. You guys get these too. They're absolutely amazing. And then we have towel wraps and such. I think right now, I know we were getting low on the 6-piece towel sets. That could be what your person was telling you there. I think they're due in this week. I'm hoping.
Really?
So we might have just ran out, because as the website pulls them off. Do you see any of the 6-pack?
No, I don't.
Okay, then you guys, you know what? Come back to them, but get those before they're gone. Get the bath towels there, over the bath sheets, so at least you know what you're getting. And what I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to try and do is put on a maybe a pre-sale. I'm going to find out when they're coming in, and so you can all get them as you having to wait here. This is another thing, that the products have just been flying off the shelf, Neil. That they
Mike, can I ask you a question? You know, you're running. I mean, MyPillow obviously got hammered by the box stores. It got hammered by, like Walmart and Target, Bed Bath and Beyond. All these people.
Costco, QVC, you name it, people.
Yeah. Costco. They used to have people in there selling your pillows. You had representatives in there selling your pillows.
Horrible. And then Costco pulled their stunt. I mean, Costco should be ashamed of themselves. Supposed to be for small business. We were their number one selling product. And these people, over 100 of them, went around to all the Costcos and did 11-day shows. And they shut it down in 21 because the CEO was out there speaking out about fair elections.
So let me ask you.
Shame on Costco. Shame on you, Costco. Disgusting.
Yes. But I have a very serious question. I mean, I cannot imagine, Mike, trying to run a business with what you have going on in terms of, well, you're getting attacked in all these different ways, but just your business itself, all of a sudden having all these POs canceled. Because I go out and I'm like, I sell video projects, right? I go out, I sell the video project. People give me half down. They give me half when it's completed. Everybody's happy. Right. We move on with our lives. You're trying to run a business. You're pre-ordering based on a PO. That's a purchase order, folks. For those who don't know what that is, that's a purchase order. Right. That's an agreement to buy. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
So we used to consider POs, like when I was selling for this one company, those were like as good as a check because POs just came through. But they're not just coming through for you. They're getting canceled at the last minute. Somebody's ready to go out the door. How, and I'm serious, Mike, how hard has this been? How hard is it to even manage inventory with this kind of crap going on?
It's horrific, everybody. We actually had about a month ago, we had a big order ready to go out the go. Maybe it's a month and a half now. And literally they canceled the PO the same day our trucks had it all ready to go. It's just disgusting. It's all political. And when you call it, because I want to get rid of the electronic voting machine, that's it. And we have been, by the way, Tulsi Gabbard came out with stuff about people, evidence of people directly that being debanked and stuff. MyPillow has been debanked. We've been demerchant server. American Express attacked us and cut us off. That was 2 years ago. That started a snowball effect. We've never been late with them in our life. They attack us. That was the start of it. Millions of dollars of credit squish. We had banks call our overseas vendors and say, or other people call our overseas vendors banks and say, if you don't cut MyPillow off, we're going to cut you off. This has happened, people. This was an attack beyond anything known to man. This is we're going to be investigating all of it. But in the meantime, you're right. It's like you have a ship, and every day you're getting blown up, blown full of holes. You're patching the holes. You're trying to keep MyPillow going, and by the grace of God and the audience, that's how we made it through. And every day it doesn't change. They find a different way to attack. And this was told to me way back by in January of 21, or maybe it was December. A good friend of mine, way higher up in the Secret Service, he came out and he said, Mike, you're one of the number one targets right now. This is before I was the number one target in January. And he said, they're going to come for you. And he said, they've already tried to attack you going backwards. The media has, but you've already told the story, so they can't get you by saying, oh, he's a crack addict. Well, blow me down that way. He said, and they hard for them to attack you in the media going forward because he said, oh, that's just because he backs Donald Trump. So what he said was, they're either going to come after you physically, you'll be gone, or they're going to destroy your business, destroy your money, destroy your thing to take you out that way, your voice. And, they decided to do number two, thank God, But this is what they've been doing for 4.5 years, just attacking everything I own, everything I've had. Do you know, Neil, that they said at the trial in May in Colorado, the last thing that evil attorney for the machine affiliate there, the machine guy, the last thing he said to the jury was this, everybody. He says, you all know Mike Lindell had a net worth of in the tens of millions, upwards of 60, 70 million and beyond. And he said, and now you've all heard with his audits that they've done that he's minus 10 million. But he goes, but we're asking you, the jury today, we're asking you for 60 million. But if you want to go higher than that, so be it. And if it bankrupts MyPillow and Mike Lindell, we need to send a message to the country that if you speak out about the elections and send out disinformation, this will happen to you too.
He said that in front of the jury?
In front of the judge, and the judge let him say it.
What the hell?
Yeah, you can't make this up, everybody. This is what I live every day. Every day I wake up, I'm going, praying to God, going, please, God, can we make payroll? Can we keep going? I want to keep doing what you've had me do, speak out for this country and secure our elections and keep fighting. And
he said that?
Hell yeah.
Like you would think that would torch your case.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and look what a blessing, everybody. We won that big $5 million challenge. And now we get to go back to that case. MyPillow was 100% vindicated. We get to go back there now. And because the judge let that appeal, she let that evidence go in that was still in appeal now that Mike was right. We get to go back for a new trial, and we're raising money for that. And I'm short of that this month. You guys could go to lindellplan.com. To help the country, or you can just go to mypillowtrial.com to help my defense directly for this appeal. The new appeal lawyers, I got to have money by the 22nd of August, and we're short. We're quite short, but I'm praying we'll get there.
Do you know, this is another one, Mike, and you probably have to get going. You cut out whenever you need to, but check this out. This is actually a relative of mine. Gron was my mother's maiden name. This is Pam Gron Wenzel. But the first time I ordered from MyPillow, the BBB had graded Mike's company from an A to an F due to his politics. I went immediately and ordered. So the BBB.
Okay, hold on. That's false news. That's fake news. It was an A plus to an F, everybody, not an A. I was their darling. I was up for the Torch Award for the crooked BBB. That's their highest award. They took MyPillow and put it on their website. This is what you should be like, because we had not one customer complaint in history, and we had taken care of everything. They had no company like MyPillow. I would drive 3 states over to deliver a present for this one boy I remember in Wisconsin, and he wasn't our problem, but he didn't get it in time for his birthday, which was due that day, because the shipping company. And I said, you know what, I'm bringing this pillow. But anyway, there was never a complaint. The Better Business Bureau, when I went all in for Donald Trump in 2016, I had never voted in my life. I was an ex-crack addict. I met Donald Trump. I go, wow, he could probably make a great president. I did a press release, and the attack started. And the BBB was the worst of all. Remember, everybody, the BBB started in Minnesota. Just because it says Better Business Bureau, it's not a government entity. It's one of the most crooked pay-per-play agencies there ever was in history, bar none. I'm accredited by the BBB. You just gave money to their pay-per-play.
Yeah.
When I first joined the BBB, they called me up and they go, yeah, you got the best company ever. Would you join the BBB? And I go, what would it cost? Well, it costs you, I don't know, $2,000. I go, well, what's my rating right now? Well, it's a C. You just told me I was the best company ever. They go, yeah, but we don't know much about your company. If you pay us, we'll give you an A.
They sell. So the way the BBB works, because back when I worked with Peak Performers and I was selling sales training, all these companies, I stopped into the BBB, and they sell. That's what they have, all these salespeople that run around and go to companies and sell these memberships to the BBB, so you can get a rating in the BBB. It's what it is. Yeah,
they picked a big name with a bureau. So everybody back in the day thought it was something with the government. Oh, wow, you got a BBB rating, a Better Business Bureau? Good for you, Special K. You didn't know behind the door that it's corrupt. It should be the corrupt. What's that, the CCC or whatever?
Or the CCP. Anyways. Like, I don't want to take up your whole day. You've been so
Yeah.
gracious with us, and thank you for extending free shipping to
thank
the
you, guys.
audience. And
free shipping, you guys. I'll make. God bless you all. Thanks for supporting MyPillow, and thanks, Neil, for having me on.
oh no, thanks for coming on, Mike. We'll see you folks on the next episode. All right, peace out.